for kinds of suffering in the world. There are many people who can endure hardships in this world. It is common for sweat beads to fall to the ground and make a hole. Who has not experienced the experience of withstanding the wind and sun and enduring hunger and cold? But that is mostly physical suffering. Firewood, rice, oil, salt, birth, old age, sickness and death. Who can escape it in a lifetime? But there are several kinds of suffering in the world which do not fall on bones and flesh, but can quietly pull the distance between people farther than the end of the world. Independent thinking is the suffering of brain power. How many people are willing to live in the shadow of others, go with the flow, and follow the crowd? Listening to the wind is rain, and watching the tide is colorless. They would rather put their heads on the pillow, open their ears, and let all kinds of sounds fill them, rather than bother to analyze and disassemble. This mental suffering is to wear the mind and endure loneliness. It requires you to unravel those things that seem to be natural and get to the bottom of them. It requires you to reweave those messy things and make sense of them. After enduring this pain, you will find that things in the world are not black and white. And life is not something that can be covered up in one word. It strips off the superficial skin and reveals the skeleton of thought, which is in unfurled. Patience and restraint are the pain of self minus discipline. The glitz in front of you, the noise in your ears. How many temptations are like poppies blooming in the soil of desire? The phrase enjoy life in time has become an excuse for many people to indulge. They can't bear the pain of endurance and the pain of restraint. Once a thought arises, it will go with the wind. Once a desire arises, it will jump into it. This pain of self-minus discipline is about choice and foresight. It requires you to choose the sobriety between a cup of fragrant tea and a cup of strong liquor, to stick to the patience between the joy of the present and the cultivation of the future. This suffering is a protracted battle with instinct. Every beat of restraint is a coronation of the soul. You will find that your world is broadened and your steps are steady. Studying is suffering from loneliness. It is late at night and everything is silent. When others seek excitement in the bright lights and indulge in the virtual world, there are always some people who are willing to accompany the fragrance of ink and talk with words. They suffer from loneliness. This suffering is the coldness of reading by lamplight at night, the heaviness of thinking hard, and the endlessness of studying hard. It is not for applause, not for fame and fortune, but only for the thirst for knowledge and awe of wisdom in the bones. This suffering is like a spring trickling and moistening the heart. Those seemingly useless words and those neglected chapters are precisely the nectar that nourishes life and enriches the spirit. When loneliness is filled with knowledge, you will have a vision that transcends the times and the wisdom to see through the world. Nodding and bowing is the pain of dignity. In this world, there are too many things that require bowing. Asking others to do things is involuntarily running around for a living compromise. The real man can bend and stretch. Mine is easy to say, but it takes blood and tears to do it. This pain is repression, compromise, and helplessness to do it knowing that it is impossible. It requires you to put down your posture, restrain your edge, and show a humility that is contrary to your heart in front of others. This pain is not cowardice, nor is it compromise. It is a higher level of wisdom. It sharpens the hardened resilience. When a person is willing to suffer this dignity for a longer minus-term layout, for the responsibility on his shoulders, and for the righteousness in his heart, he will have a pattern and courage that others can hardly reach. So the pain in this world is of various kinds. Some pain just sharpens the skin, some pain can forge the soul. Those seemingly insignificant sufferings that few people care about are the rivers that truly separate people from each other. The sufferings you endure will determine the attitude of your life to welcome and flourish. When I think of this, I feel an indescribable respect for those who silently endure the forbitterness essence for the high ground of life they will eventually reach. The world is worth a smile, and in that smile, perhaps there is a clear understanding unrelief of these forbitternesses.